Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're going to finish up the current flight training today. Now I say current because once the Game of the Year edition comes out, there's going to be more flight training. But right now, after Sim Update 6, this is what we've got. We've done basic handling, takeoff and landing, VR navigation. Now we're going to do airliner training, the one that I have not been looking forward to. You all know I am not a jet person. Well, small commercial jets, but I'm not, or small private jets, business jets. I'm not a commercial tube liner person at all. But I still try every now and then. I've done the landing challenges, and now we're going to try the airliner training. I'm hoping to get at least C scores and everything. I was going for A's in the beginning, and then I'm like, you know what? I ain't got time to do everything and get yelled at by Jess and get A's. We're just going through it just to see what it looks like. So videos on each of these, but now we're going to finish what's currently in flight training with airliner training. I don't know why I gave such a long introduction without breathing, but let's get going. Okay, just 2 modules. Let's see how this goes. You can hear the laughing in my voice. Training airliners may seem more complex than light aircraft, but proper preparation will help you take off with ease. This training session will teach you a few key concepts. Read takeoff speeds on the MCDU and flight computer, identify different detents in the thrust levers, monitor the PFD to identify correct VR speed, and refine pitch attitude during initial incline before engaging autopilot. Here goes nothing.
Perfect weather for a flight out of Nice, Côte d'Azur, don't you think? We're on runway 22 left, and we're cleared for takeoff. Taking off in an A320 obviously requires more speed and a longer runway than a single-engine prop plane. But luckily, we have some extra tools at our disposal to make the job a little easier once we're airborne. For starters, the autothrust manages engine power to maintain a target airspeed. Autopilot will keep us on track with navigation, and the fly-by-wire system lets us maintain a consistent attitude without needing to make constant adjustments. When I give the word, you're going to execute a straight-out takeoff. After you complete the initial climb, I'll take the controls. But first, check the MCDU for our reference speeds. I already typed in today's numbers.
Use those numbers to look
The
at. There you
rotation
go.
speed, VR, is
What was it?
131 knots.
Somewhere down
I'll
here.
call out when we reach it. Take a look at the PFD now. Then, once we hit
There we go.
VR, you just need to begin a gentle rotation by pulling back on the side stick. Don't exceed 10 degrees until you've lifted off. Next, let's review the thrust levers.
Where is it? I had it.
We
There
need
it
to be
is.
aware of 3 different detents. Use the climb detent labeled CL on your throttle to automatically manage the thrust for the remainder of the flight. Toga to take off at full power on short runways or when performing a go-around. And for today, FLX MCT for a reduced thrust takeoff. We reduce thrust at takeoff to preserve our engine life and save fuel. Now let's monitor the engine parameters.
This one? This one?
As you can see
This
on
one.
the engine warning and system display, I applied the parking brakes earlier.
Press parking brake.
Okay,
That one,
we're
not
ready
mine.
to go. Apply half forward side stick. Then move both thrust levers gently forward to 50% N1.
50% and 1. I can't see that far away. 43. I can't see this. 51%. 47.
Then move
There.
them to the flex detent.
Flex detent. Oh,
Okay, now the auto thrust
there.
is armed. Use the
Ah.
rudder to keep us on the center line.
sorry. Steer using the rudders. That's what I'm doing. See, there we
80.
go. I need to do it a lot for it to register my input. And turn the input to
Rotate.
green. Rotate. No more than 10 degrees. 10 degrees. We're almost there.
Positive
There we
climb.
go.
Gear up. Engage
Gear up.
autopilot.
That one. Okay.
Autopilot can either be engaged 5 seconds or 100 feet after takeoff to
Cool.
manage heading and altitude. The FMA is showing lever climb, which means we've reached thrust reduction altitude. Adjust the thrust levers to climb detent. Now we're in the climb
Climb
detent.
detent.
Auto thrust is active, and will
Cool.
manage airspeed by adjusting the power. At S speed, retract flaps to 0. Disarm ground spoilers.
Disarm spoilers. How do I do that? How do I do that? Oh,
That was excellent.
thank you. Oh, yay, got an A. Yay. I could have done 10 degrees more quickly, but good enough for me. Let's keep going. All right, the other module, landing. Let's see how this goes. Prepare for visual landing en route to nice Côte d'Azur. Practice fly-by-wire controls. Read PAPI lights. Maintain optimal approach angles. Set idle thrust and flare for a smooth crash. Here we go.
We're on course for a visual landing approach into Nice Côte
Oh
d'Azur.
boy.
Auto
Scary.
thrust is going to handle power management.
Oh,
So our
good.
main objective is to control the pitch to stay on the glide slope.
Okay.
The beauty of fly-by-wire means you only need to use the stick when you want to make attitude adjustments.
Okay.
Alright, as long as auto thrust is on, the speed will be automatically managed.
Really?
Throttles should stay in the climb detent. Just focus on the trajectory. Remember, fly-by-wire doesn't need a lot of corrective input.
Okay.
Just keep making small adjustments to pitch and roll as necessary. See the screw on the dash above the PFD? Use that as a guideline to keep us centered on the runway.
Okay.
For a visual approach, we have the track FPA mode activated. This will display the green velocity vector on your attitude indicator. Place it 3 degrees below the horizon to follow a 3-degree glide slope.
I want to go like that. There we go. Okie dokie. I do admit, having done some tube liners in flight sim, I do prefer the oldest airliners you can get, like the 727. I love that. Kind of like the Boeings. Not an Airbus fan. It's too modern for me.
Look to the right of the runway at the 4 colored lights called PAPI. They'll
They're
give
too
feedback
low.
to stay within a 3-degree glide slope all the way down. If the PAPI shows 2 white lights and 2 reds, then we're on target. 4 white lights means we're too high. 4 red means we're too low. At 20 feet, pull back on the stick to kiss the runway, but be careful to avoid a tail strike.
So I don't do anything with the thrust or anything? Okay. Really, all I do is I just come in and flare. That's all I gotta do. Makes me appreciate the bush trips more, landing on those little runways in a little bouncy plane. But anyway, I love the old stuff like the 727 and X-Plane 11. I flew that a lot, considering I'm not a jetliner fan. Generally, that was still my favorite plane, in X-Plane 11. But in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm definitely not a jetliner person. Well, we're way too high. I feel like I need to do throttles to descend. But, everything's managed automatically. I just gotta control my attitude, I guess. Because, yeah, the speed is not going up as I pitch down, so... a little different than all the other stuff. Should I be outside for a good view here? There we go, let's take a nice couple screenshots, hop inside, because you know what happens when we sightsee.
500.
Doesn't go well. Whoops. Oopsies. Oopsies.
We're getting close to the threshold. Now shift your focus down to the end of the runway.
End of the runway.
Listen for the computer calling out retard, then set thrust to idle.
Okay. Okie dokie. Cranking up my volume. Stay on glide slope.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30.
Time to flare.
Retard 5.
Oh, I bounced. Or I floated. Steer with the
Now
rudders.
return the side stick to neutral. Spoilers and auto brakes are activated.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing the work. We'll just stay centered here. Oof. I flared and I floated, of course. Are we done? Right, Jess, did you
You did
jump
well,
out? Thank you.
but you can do better.
Oh. Oh, got to be. That's okay. Alrighty, let's see here. Stay aligned, yeah. Flare was pretty bad. Smooth, yep. Okie dokie, let's go back to the training menu. And what's my overall score here? Alright, overall, so 100, so that's an A, that's an A. They call that a B, and they would call that an A. So 3 A's and a B based on their percentage system. My English teacher, my English professor wife would be like A, reluctant A minus, C plus, B minus. But the way they were doing it, this would be a B. So I'm happy with it. It was fun. I prefer just to fly and be as serious as possible, but having someone yell at me is like makes it seem worse than it is. But anyway, I enjoyed it. Those are the current training modules as of Sim Update 6. When the Game of the Year edition comes out, there's supposed to be more, and we'll do them when they're available. But for now, that's it. Like, subscribe so you don't miss the next stuff, and I'll see you next time.